There's no way. Look though, look. Players like this come around once, sometimes in our lifetime. Mm-hmm. There hasn't been
once in a generation, certainly.
But no player in NBA, in WNBA history, has had to deal with this.
The one thing I just don't like, and I don't care what people say, I feel like there's a lot of hate on Caitlin Clark, and I think because she's white.
Speak. People listen, not because they're obligated, but because those men have lived it all. Championships, rivalries, controversy, greatness up close. So when those same legends bring up Caitlin Clark, it signals a whole new conversation. This isn't about polished, PR-friendly praise. It's about raw, unfiltered truths. And the real shift happens when those legends don't just uplift Clark, but directly call out the league. When names like Magic, Barkley, and Gervin publicly side with Caitlin and condemn the hate, it hits different. These aren't bloggers or casual analysts. These are the men who helped turn basketball into a global phenomenon. Now they're applying pressure, not only on Caitlin, but on the WNBA, the media, and the players treating her like a target. Because if the league ignores them, it risks losing the one thing it has always chased: lasting relevance. These legends aren't just watching, they're comparing, making bold parallels, even calling her the Tiger Woods of women's basketball. Some argue if she's not playing, no one's tuning in. Others are blunt about the issues: race, jealousy, resentment, the stuff nobody dared say until now. And when Magic, Barkley, and KG speak that truth, it's the kind of honesty that could crack the league wide open. Even Jeff Teague, a former NBA All-Star, kept it as real as ever. Ain't nobody going to watch basketball if she ain't playing. That single line cut deeper than half the hot takes circulating today. Jeff Teague wasn't exaggerating, and he wasn't guessing.
She the best.
She's the best ever, bro. I don't care, bro. She's the best ever, bro.
So she gonna be like LeBron with the stats.
Truth, and it hit hard. Think about it. A former NBA All-Star flat out admitted that one WNBA player is carrying the league's viewership. And Teague didn't say it to flatter her. He said it because he's seen enough stars to recognize true drawing power. Caitlin Clark doesn't just raise ratings, she is the ratings. And then he doubled down. Teague didn't just acknowledge Caitlin Clark. He elevated her. Let's break that down. That wasn't casual barbershop chatter. That was a veteran who played at the highest level, putting Caitlin in GOAT conversations only 2 years into her pro career. And it's not only about stats, it's about what those stats represent. Teague sees the game bent.
Ain't nobody gonna watch basketball if she ain't playing.
Ain't nobody gonna watch basketball if she ain't playing. That one line says more than half the hot takes floating around right now. Teague wasn't guessing. He wasn't exaggerating. He was telling the truth, and it stung. Because think about that. A former NBA All-Star just admitted that one player in the WNBA is the reason people are tuning in. And Teague didn't say it to boost her ego. He said it because he's been around long enough to know what actual star power looks like, and Caitlin has it. She's not just raising viewership, she is the viewership. And then, he doubled down. Teague didn't just praise Caitlin Clark, he anointed her.
When I was in Indy, I didn't care about that. The only thing I remember about Indy is when I was leaving Cambridge Arena in a loading dock, Caitlin Clark walked right by me, and I froze. I didn't say hello to her. How about that? My favorite basketball player outside of Clay was right there in front of me. There she was, and I said, no, I can't do it. But getting back to your question, you're right. That's what I remember most about Indiana. Caitlin Clark is right there next to me.
Isn't just predicting success. He's predicting dominance. The kind written in box scores, championship banners, and billion-dollar growth. What made it resonate more was how he delivered it. No jokes. No smile. Just conviction. Jeff Teague doesn't throw out compliments freely. This is the same guy who once brushed off Kawhi Leonard after guarding him. He's brutally honest. So when he says Caitlin Clark could be the LeBron of women's basketball, you pay attention. And the next voice that joined in didn't need many words at all. Michael Thompson, two-time NBA champ and father of Klay Thompson. Michael Thompson didn't freeze in front of Magic Johnson. He didn't stutter around Michael Jordan. But when Caitlin Clark passed by, he was left speechless. That's not casual praise, that's awe. Because Thompson wasn't responding to just another talented player. He was reacting to a cultural force, someone who makes lifelong basketball figures forget their words. Caitlin Clark isn't just...
They're going to be tested by these incredible women who've been in the league for a long time. Caitlin is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlin still has to play great to become the best WNBA player.
She's reshaping it. And when the man who raised one of the greatest shooters in history calls her his favorite player, that's not hype, it's validation. She's breaking down every wall: men's basketball, women's basketball, legends, fans, even peers. And just when you think the respect can't rise any higher, one of the biggest names in NBA history raised the stakes. Magic Johnson, a man who knows better than anyone what it means to carry a league, stepped up. Magic Johnson doesn't throw around empty praise. When he speaks, he's setting a standard. With Caitlin, he didn't just say she was good. He compared her rise to his own and Larry Bird's. That's not criticism. That's deep respect. He wasn't just saying she's popular. He was declaring that her path mirrors the greatest rivalries in history. Caitlin Clark is no longer judged on a separate scale. She's being measured against the game's icons. And Magic wasn't warning her. He was challenging her: keep pushing. You've got the spotlight, now claim the crown. But while Magic gave her historical context, another Hall of Famer came with pure fire. Reggie Miller, one of the game's coldest shooters and fiercest trash talkers, had a completely different tone. And he didn't hold back. Reggie Miller was angry, not at Caitlin, but at the league itself. He sees the cheap shots, the flagrant fouls, the silence from officials, and he's saying enough. Because when one player is raising ratings, pulling in fans, and lifting the entire sport's profile, you protect her. Period. The fact that no one has done so yet? That's exactly why Reggie's words stung so badly. He's not asking for chaos. He's warning it might take one serious wake-up call to finally force action.
Shaq said he loved Caitlin Clark, but, quote, she needs to wait her turn. Do you agree with the idea that great players, no matter how great they are, need to wait their turn? This was from Ben.
Hey, first of all, let's start off with Shaq. You ain't wait your turn.
Joined in, someone who knows championships better than most, Robert Horry. The 7-time NBA champion doesn't speak often, but when he does, it's sharp and calculated. Horry didn't hold back either. When Shaq suggested Caitlin should wait her turn, Horry immediately shut it down. He wasn't defending Shaq. He wasn't playing politics. He was correcting the narrative. Caitlin doesn't need to wait. She already is the spotlight, already the reason the league is thriving. She's accomplished more in months than some veterans managed in years. And Horry knows what he's looking at. He's seen stars emerge and legends be made. What he sees in Caitlin isn't something you delay. And if that wasn't loud enough, Paul Pierce sharpened the point even further. Paul Pierce didn't...
Players like this come around once, sometimes in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been
once in a generation, certainly.
But no player in NBA, in WNBA history has had to deal with this, right?
What?
What she's dealing with.
What? What is she dealing with?
Fouling from day one. Already, but she's been crowned. I mean, she's already. Nobody who was the face of the league in the first few years of the WNBA.
He admitted she's carrying a burden no player before her has ever faced. Pierce knows pressure. He thrived under it. But when he sees Caitlin, he recognizes a level of scrutiny he himself never endured. Endorsements, headlines, expectations, non-stop cameras. Every eye is locked on her. And unlike others, Caitlin faces more battles. Racial narratives, locker room jealousy, league indifference, and constant outside noise. Pierce didn't call her perfect. He didn't crown her prematurely. But he made one thing clear: no one has been handed this much this fast, and she's still standing.
It's a privilege too, though. It's a privilege, though. It's a privilege to be in a position where others are hating on you. And when others are hating on you, that means you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
When you thought the truth had peaked, Kevin Garnett entered the conversation. And when KG speaks, it's never filtered. It's raw, spiritual, and painfully real.
I think it's reprehensible what they're allowing some of these players to. Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time for doing that.
This wasn't just a compliment. It was a wake-up call to the league, the players, and even the union. Caitlin Clark is the rising tide lifting everyone. She's the reason for better travel, bigger paychecks, larger audiences, and yet, she's also the one absorbing the hardest hits. The math doesn't add up, and George Gervin knows it. Still, he wasn't the only one willing to speak directly. Matt Barnes stepped in next, and Barnes has never been one to hold back. Whether on the court, on podcasts, or on live TV, he's always brutally honest. When it came to Caitlin Clark, he didn't just defend her, he exposed the truth. Interview 13. That alone was high praise. But then Barnes went further, saying out loud what everyone else had been avoiding.
And think about it, y'all. I mean, we're dealing with imperfect people. I mean, and, when you look at it, they don't know the value that she's bringing for all of them. She bringing, they flying private planes now. They weren't flying private before she came. They on major networks now. They weren't doing that. She remind me of Tiger Woods for golf.
Yes.
He changed the paycheck.
He didn't tiptoe. He didn't disguise it. Barnes said straight up, a lot of the hate toward Caitlin is racial.
Why ain't somebody, unions, making this an issue for these girls to say like, man, we need another Caitlin Clark if we gonna be able to get all these benefits, because they didn't have it before she got into the league.
And he wasn't wrong. Caitlin isn't the first flashy guard or confident scorer. But she is the first white woman marketed as the WNBA's face from day one. And for some, that's uncomfortable. Barnes pointed out what others whisper behind closed doors. This isn't just about paying dues or toughness. It's about who's carrying the torch. He wasn't trying to stir controversy. He said it because it's the truth. And truth doesn't need defending. After Barnes, another legend added his perspective. Isaiah Thomas, better known as Zeke. A master of basketball IQ, Thomas didn't focus on hype or controversy. He focused on Caitlin's game.
I think she has the Tiger Woods effect. The way he put golf fans in a craze. Whether you're a golf fan or not, you tuned in and you wanted to learn about the game because he was so incredible. I think she has that effect.
What Thomas delivered wasn't hype, it was validation. He explained that Caitlin isn't just scoring points. She's reshaping the game itself.
The one thing I just don't like, and I don't care what people say, I feel like there's a lot of hate on Caitlin Clark, and I think because she's white.
She's altering defensive schemes, changing how teammates move, and pushing the WNBA's pace faster than ever. She's unlocking spacing and creativity, and she's doing it as a rookie. Coming from one of the smartest, most unselfish point guards in NBA history, that means something. Thomas wasn't calling her just a shooter or scorer. He called her the engine. And when a Hall of Famer breaks your game down like that, it carries weight. Then came Patrick Beverley, a player who knows work ethic better than most. Beverley kept it simple, but his respect was loud. For him, calling Caitlin one of those workout people was the highest form of praise. It means showing up early, staying late, grinding when nobody's watching. That's how he sees Caitlin.
So what are they doing now? They're running. You see creativity, you see originality, you see all that stuff in transition now because the floor is spread. As soon as they get the ball, make a miss, they are out, man. They are out filling the lanes, running their spots, getting to their spot. Why? Because they know Caitlin gonna give it up. That's the beauty that we're watching in basketball right now with Caitlin Clark.
A worker who lives in the gym and earns every bit of success. He didn't compare her to legends, didn't exaggerate, just said she's got the strap, the vision, and the discipline. Maybe that's why so many don't know how to handle her. They see the charter flights, the media buzz, the spotlight. But they don't see the grind behind it. Beverley does, because he's lived it. And that's why his words carry weight. Then Charles Barkley grabbed the mic, and everything shifted. Barkley didn't give commentary. He gave an indictment. He ripped into bitter veterans, jealous teammates, biased media, and the league itself for fumbling its biggest star. He reminded everyone that Caitlin Clark is the reason players are flying private, the reason for better coverage, the reason for growth. And yet, instead of gratitude, some players respond with cold shoulders, hard fouls, and dismissals.
You know I say what's up, but I'm not the type to say what's up to interrupt your workout because I don't like people to interrupt mine. She can shoot the shit out of it.
And the WNBA assist leader this past year.
She can shoot the shit out the ball.
She's a great shooter.
And she's one of those workout people.
Barkley's message was sharp. You wanted this moment. Don't ruin it. Like her or not, Caitlin has already changed the game. If Barkley has to be the first to light the fuse, so be it. Because if Magic, KG, Pierce, Gervin Barnes, and Barkley can all see it clearly, what's the excuse for everyone else? Caitlin Clark doesn't need rescuing. She's proven she can handle the heat. But when legends speak up, it's not for her. It's for the league. They're exposing the double standards, the dirty fouls, the jealousy, the silence. Barnes called out the racial angle. Reggie Miller said maybe it's time Caitlin slaps someone. Rick Barry demanded suspensions. Gervin compared her to Tiger Woods.
These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried. People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV and slander you. It's just total bullshit. This girl is incredible. The number of attention, eyeballs she's brought to college and the pros, and for these women to have this petty jealousness, you say to yourself, damn, what is going on here? And the thing I love about her, she never says a word.
Barkley said the league is fumbling its biggest star. How many more warnings are needed? Caitlin Clark hasn't just joined the WNBA, she's flipped it. She's filled arenas, dragged women's basketball into the mainstream, and done it with a jumper and grit. And now the legends are saying, respect the moment, respect the woman, or get left behind. Because what Caitlin is building isn't hype. It's a legacy in motion, when nobody's watching. That's how he sees Caitlin, a worker who lives in the gym and earns every bit of success. He didn't compare her to legends, didn't exaggerate, just said she's got the strap, the vision, and the discipline. Maybe that's why so many don't know how to handle her. They see the charter flights, the media buzz, the spotlight. But they don't see the grind behind it. Beverly does, because he's lived it. And that's why his words carry weight. Then Charles Barkley grabbed the mic, and everything shifted. Barkley didn't give commentary. He gave an indictment. He ripped into bitter veterans, jealous teammates, biased media, and the league itself for fumbling its biggest star. He reminded everyone that Caitlin Clark is the reason players are flying private, the reason for better coverage, the reason for growth. And yet, instead of gratitude, some players respond with cold shoulders, hard fouls, and dismissals. Barkley's message was sharp. You wanted this moment. Don't ruin it. Like her or not, Caitlin has already changed the game. If Barkley has to be the first to light the fuse, so be it. Because if Magic, KG, Pierce, Gervin Barnes, and Barkley can all see it clearly, what's the excuse for everyone else? Caitlin Clark doesn't need rescuing. She's proven she can handle the heat. But when legends speak up, it's not for her. It's for the league. They're exposing the double standards, the dirty fouls, the jealousy, the silence. Barnes called out the racial angle. Reggie Miller said maybe it's time Caitlin slaps someone. Rick Barry demanded suspensions. Gervin compared her to Tiger Woods. Barkley said the league is fumbling its biggest star. How many more warnings are needed? Caitlin Clark hasn't just joined the WNBA, she's flipped it. She's filled arenas, dragged women's basketball into the mainstream, and done it with a jumper and grit. And now the legends are saying, respect the moment, respect the woman, or get left behind. Because what Caitlin is building isn't hype. It's a legacy in motion,